Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
We all need new computers. Well, maybe not right now, but inevitably we will likely replace the computers that we're currently using today with new computers and potentially different computers altogether. And we don't really have a lot of opportunity to review the array of computers that are out there. We don't have a review lab. We're not a massive media company. It's just a handful of us with LockerGnome. So we generally will review the things that we buy. Such is the case with Ron over on LockerGnome.com in the corresponding article, his review of the Toshiba satellite, and I have to look at this model number. It's got 10 digits, not including the dash. The L775D-S7340. That's like the length of a phone number, dude. Okay, well, apparently the L775D-S7340 was a laptop that Ron wanted. And you know how big the screen is? Take a guess. And you know, you're welcome to look at the article's full title in the description. Okay, spoiler alert. 17.3 inches. That is longer, I think, than the average baby when it's born. That's nuts. I mean, you want to talk about a desktop replacement, that has to be it. The L775DS7340. We all have different wants and different needs. What's best for me is not necessarily best for you. But it's nice when we use our own dollars to pay for things because we're buying it based on our needs. And when we share our perspectives with you, it's not because we have an array of review devices, because we really don't. And I know so many of you are inclined to say, oh, you must get review devices all the time. No, we really don't. We buy these things outright. So this 17.3-inch laptop from Toshiba, as fully reviewed in this article, was purchased for $529. Actually, $529.99. Tax really not including. 6.2 pounder. This thing's gigantic. I think that thing's bigger than me. I know I weigh way more than. I could stand to lose 6.2 pounds. But you know, there are amazing choices in the marketplace. And when you read a review online, keep in mind, did the person buy it themselves or was it a review unit? In some cases, when it's a full-on review, that can and should change your perspective on the matter. And I've shared that you know, when we received review units and my experiences with them. And I've also shared when I've purchased items outright and my experiences with them. So at least you know when something is a review unit that was sent to us. And in many ways, with hardware, you got to send it back. When you buy it outright, well, it's yours. And whatever you say as someone who's purchased an item means much more to me than if you were given the item or you're reviewing the item as a review unit. And I would say the same for you if you're watching a video review of something like, well, how is this product attained? Who is actually using it? Who bought it? What's their perspective? I mean, it's so much more weight in the value of a review. And we try to do that with LockerGnome articles. So you may be interested in a product that weighs, let's see here, 6.2 pounds. It runs Windows because it is a PC from Toshiba that cost far less than $600 before tax, at least. That's insane. Laptops are getting so cheap these days for what you get. And you get an insane amount. And what more would you need in a computer? Big screen, got a webcam built in, it's fast, it was affordable. Computing these days is so, I would say, cheap. And it's not that there are a lot of expensive options out there, it's just there are a lot of cheap options, which of course make the items which cost more than the cheap items look expensive. They're not expensive, it's just everything else is cheap. And you know what? Ron's dollars count. So when you buy something, I think you owe it to the world to let people know what you think about that product. You really do. And it doesn't take much, whether you post it to Twitter, You post follow-up comments in a blog post. You make your own blog post, Google+, a video review on YouTube. I do my best that when I bring something new into my home office, I like doing some kind of video about it, generally speaking. And it tends to be gadgety or gadgetry. Well, actually, gadgety would work. I would say it tends to be gadgetry or gadgety in nature. Giggity. So you could easily parlay that purchase into intelligence for the rest of the world, and not just when you bought it, right when you bought it. Use it for a while, and then share your opinions on it. So there's just some of my thoughts in conjunction with this particular review. You're looking for a new laptop. This may be the one for you. Then again, it may not, because maybe you want something that has an 18-inch screen, at which point 17.3 inches would seem small. Although in which universe it would seem small, I'd be interested in finding out who thinks that's small, but it's not the size that matters.